What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's episode number 703 of Victory Monday edition, the final Victory Monday of 2024, because hopefully our next Victory Monday will be in 2025. But nonetheless, a Victory Monday edition of Underground Sports Philadelphia, episode number 703. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo. We got a fun show, a lot to break down. The Birds, NFC East Champs, the number 2 seed in the playoffs. We're going to talk a little around the NFL. We're going to hit some things on the Sixers. Who would have thought having your stars being healthy matters? We'll talk a little Fly Guys, talk a little Wingies as they continue their hot streak. I got a little rant on the Phils in a good way, as you guys know how we do, and then a little underground housekeeping as well. Make sure you guys are following us, though, before we get into everything, on all the socials across the board. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Twitch, whatever you choose to follow us on, follow us. We are there. You can follow me on Twitter at KBICCL311. You can follow me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube. I'm on everything as well. Be sure to subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire catalog of podcasts. So be sure to subscribe, Apple, Spotify, leave a 5-star review. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, guys. We are currently sitting, as of this portion of the recording, at 882. We need 118 more of you to subscribe. Our goal is to get there before the ball drops on New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day, but let's make that happen. youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and smash that like button. Click the bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And this show is proudly presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my man Gilly, blow that whistle. The Philadelphia Eagles are 2024 NFC East Champions, and it's a Victory Monday. It's brought to you by Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. Go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, New Jersey, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got it available for you. Must be 21 or older to do so. And, of course, please drink responsibly. But crack open an ice cold Kenny on this Victory Monday as the Philadelphia Eagles take down the Dallas Cowboys in absolutely beautiful fashion by a final score of 41-7. It was never particularly close. And the Eagles get it done with Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee in a 1-2 punch tandem at quarterback for the Birds. The Cowboys scored in the first quarter, was tied 7-7, and then they never scored again. The Eagles, Saquon Barkley, dominant in the run game yet again, 31 carries, 167 yards, eclipses the 2,000-yard mark, becomes the 9th member of Club 2K in NFL history. He needs 101 yards in order to break Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. What a wonderful first season in Philadelphia for Saquon Barkley. Now, I know there's many people on the fence about whether or not Saquon should play against the Giants on Sunday. And yes, that game is now confirmed for Sunday against the Giants in Week 18, 1 p.m. kickoff on CBS and Paramount Plus. Check your local listings to see if you can stream the game on Paramount Plus. But I personally think you should let Saquon, let some of the starters play a quarter to a half, depending on who it is, and allow them to kind of just keep a game day routine going. I know everyone wants to give them a bye, and I know the Eagles haven't had a bye since Week 5. But I don't know. The way that they're flowing right now, the way they've been vibing, they have one loss since the bye week, and that was in a fluke game against the Commanders, obviously, where Jalen Hurts gets injured 11 plays into the game. But I would love to see Saquon get the record, and if he doesn't, I'm happy he got to 2,000 yards. It's such an accomplishment for him. Just an awesome, awesome performance. Devontae Smith with that dad of 2 strength. Congratulations to Devontae and his girlfriend who are expecting baby number 2. Devontae goes for 6 catches, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Devontae's single season over-under for touchdowns this year was set at 6.5. And he missed 3 games, had a game where he had 1 catch for -2 yards, and still hits his over. So congrats to Devontae for proving the haters wrong there. Kenny Pickett was awesome in this game, did exactly what you wanted from Kenny Pickett in this game. 10 of 15, 143 yards and a touchdown, just played in the first half due to his rib injury that later came out that he has been playing with broken ribs since the Washington game. Tanner McKee steps in, goes 3 of 4, 54 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 to AJ, 1 to Smitty. And AJ accidentally throws because the touchdown that Tanner McKee threw to AJ Brown was Tanner McKee's first NFL touchdown. Accidentally threw it into the stands, gets the ball back in exchange for AJ's game-worn autographed jersey, which was really cool. Shout out to that fan. We got to get him on this show. What a legend for returning that ball and getting some pretty sweet compensation for it. Tanner McKee becomes the first quarterback in the draft era of the NFL, which is since 1936, to throw for 2 touchdowns in a game while throwing less than 5 passes. He's a stud. QB Factory is alive and well, everyone. Devontae was great. AJ had some moments in this game too, and what a unbelievable catch. Grant Calcaterra, 1 catch for 34 yards, one-handed, just an absolute highlight reel of a catch. Unbelievable move by Grant Calcaterra there, and he was sensational in this game. Again, has really stepped up in the absence of Dallas Goedert and has really proven that, like, hey, he can play in this league. the offense clicked. I mean, 41 points. CJ Gardner-Johnson got the game going. CD Deuce is what they call him. Crazy 8, baby. Went goblin mode. Full-blown pick 6. Had 2 interceptions in this game. Was Cooper Rush's top receiver today. I believe he had 94 yards returned in those interceptions and went for a touchdown. CD Deuce, man, I can't overstate how important, how special, how awesome of a player, of a person, and of a teammate, and just a presence he is on this team. Nick Sirianni brought it up in his post-game press conference that CJ Gardner-Johnson was delivering presents this week to the cafeteria workers, to every person in the NovaCare complex, because he knows how important each and every person is within this organization in order to make this be a well-oiled machine. You could feel his absence last season of him not being in this Eagles locker room, and seeing his leadership, seeing his growth as a player, seeing him develop into such a captain even though he doesn't have to wear the C. I've said it time and time again. CJ Gardner-Johnson was born to play in Philadelphia. He was meant to be on this team, and that's why he came back. He had unfinished business, and I'm so happy he's back. This is a city who just appreciates and loves guys like CJ Gardner-Johnson. He exemplifies what it means to be an Eagle. And it's crazy that, you know, he's been here for 2 seasons now, and you get that energy from him. He is truly a class act. He leaves it all on the field. He goes to battle for his guys, and at the end of the day, just wants to win. He's a winner, and to have him on this team cannot be overstated enough how important and special he is to this Eagles roster. I'm so happy he's a part of this team. He deserves the moon. I love CJ Gardner-Johnson so much, and I hope he just continues to ball out and continues to shine. You know, in this final game of the season, if he ends up playing and then going into the postseason, I hope he has moments that live in Eagles history forever, and just continues to exemplify what it means to be an Eagle. And it's crazy that we've gone from Brian Dawkins to Malcolm Jenkins to now it feels like, again, CJ Gardner-Johnson is, you know, that catalyst at the safety position for this team. He walks the walk, talks the talk, and really just I can't praise him enough for how special he is and how important he is to this team. His first career touchdown with that pick 6. The defense was magnificent. You know, you didn't even have to sack Cooper Rush in this game, and you know you got a half sack from Thomas Booker IV and a half sack from Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Shout out to Trot Jr. In this game towards the end where Cooper Rush kind of just fell down and they tapped him down. But you created enough pressure and enough havoc, and you were great in coverage today that you didn't have to do too much. You just had to make Cooper Rush kind of fuck up on his own. And that is what Cooper Rush is known for. He looks good against so many other teams, but when the Philadelphia Eagles are on his calendar, he shits down his leg and forgets how to play football. You know, he had a good start to the game for them, but finishes the game 15 of 28, 147 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. He's thrown 10 career interceptions. Cooper Rush has in his career, and 4 of them have gone to CJ Gardner-Johnson. Jalix Hunt was awesome in this game. 6 tackles. You know, I tweeted this too. I genuinely think, you know, I think we're not talking about it enough just because of how dominant a win it was. But Nakobe Dean was out in this game, and I think Oren Burks and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. really stepped up in his presence. Oren Burks in particular was really filling in for Nakobe in a lot of spots in this one. And I thought those two really played well in this game. They really stepped up in the absence of the guy who's typically the signal caller on defense. Zach Bond assumed those duties, so you're switching a lot in that linebacking, portion of your defense. I thought those two played extremely well. I thought Nolan Smith had a fantastic game. He continues to shine, and his development has been amazing to watch. the defense was awesome today. And, it just goes to show you that game against the Commanders, they were on the field so much that it was just a matter of time that they were going to just concede because they were gassed. And the defense did their thing and continued to prove why they are the number one defense in the NFL this year. Vic Fangio is unbelievable. Has really gotten these guys in positions to win week in and week out, especially since the bye. And this defense has been so fun to watch. And like I said with the offense, like they did what they had to do to win today. They didn't have to overproduce. They didn't have to do too much. And the Philadelphia Eagles are NFC East Champions for the second time in the last 3 seasons. And as I say all the time, banners fly forever. You can never take away anything in terms of accolades from a player, from a team, from anybody, an organization, a front office, a coaching staff. Accolades and banners fly forever. They are forever attached to you. And the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles will forever be NFC East champions. I don't care what you have to say about the division this year. I don't care what you have to say about the NFL this year. I don't care what you have to say about any of it. The Eagles have battled, did what they had to do, and they're back on top of the division where they belong. And it's their 13th NFC East title in franchise history. And they continue the trend where no repeat NFC East division winners have happened since the Eagles did it in 2003 and 2004. So since 2005, we have not had a single repeat division winner in the NFC East. We could have had 3 in a row if the Eagles didn't crap it away last year, but hey, that's last year, and this team has really found a groove. They are playing for each other. This team is having so much fun this year, and I know a lot of people online, a lot of people I've talked to, like they've been scarred about last year, and they're taking it day by day. That's fine. But you can tell the vibe and the energy about this team and the camaraderie this team has is second to none. And they are truly playing for each other. They know what the task at hand is. They are trying to come out of each and every week 1-0. And they know that the ultimate goal is to be at the top of the mountain, hoisting that Lombardi trophy, and the Philadelphia Eagles being Super Bowl champions once again. That's what this team is all about. And they're doing it for each other. They're playing for one another. Like, you see Saquon reaches that 2,000-yard mark, and Nick Sirianni calls the timeout so that everyone can celebrate together. You see Saquon go up to Kenneth Gainwell, right as that happens, and go to the offensive line, and the offensive line celebrate him, and everyone on the sideline celebrate an accomplishment that Saquon will tell you they did it together. You go on Saquon's Instagram, he tagged every single member of the offensive line that has played in a game this year that has helped him reach that goal. This team is so close and connected, and it's so funny to me when people try to make narratives about this team because they're scarred from last year, or they just want to create controversy for the sake of creating controversy. And you have Jalen Hurts tweeting a picture of CJ Gardner-Johnson with the NFC East Champions hat on in the locker room. This team is a really special team, guys, and I hope everyone has gotten a chance to enjoy them, because the playoffs are going to get here, and it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle. There's a lot of good teams that are going to be in this NFC playoff race, from the Lions, the Vikings, the Rams, who the Eagles saw earlier this year. They're playing good football. The Buccaneers, who are a perennial thorn in our side, and the Commanders or Packers are going to be coming to Philadelphia for the wild card round, and it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a battle, and we just have to be in this team's corner as fans, make it so that each and every game possible is played at Lincoln Financial Field during the playoffs, and just get Jalen Hurts healthy. Get him out of that concussion protocol. Make sure he's good to go for the playoffs. I'm so proud of this team. I'm so thankful for this team. They have really meshed and gelled so well together. You see guys just accomplishing things. Saquon with 2,000 yards. You see somebody like Mekhi Becton, who was kind of just thrown to the wayside in the NFL. Fizzles out with the Jets, never really found a stride there. Comes into Philadelphia on a 1-year prove-it deal during training camp and takes that guard position running. And Jeff Stoutland has revitalized his career, and I hope Mekhi Becton wants to stay here and be part of something special with this offensive line, because I think he is such a talented player and has really found his role with this team. You look at Zach Bond coming in and is getting nods from really esteemed people in the media, like the Mina Kimes of the world, like Dan Orlovsky, who say what you want about some of them, but they know ball when they see it, especially Mina, who I respect a shit ton. She said Zach Bond's an all-pro. And Zach Bond leads linebackers in Pro Bowl voting. You see the coming of age of Nakobe Dean and Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith and all the Georgia boys, honestly. They have really stepped up and taken another step forward this year. You look at Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, and you look at the role Darius Slay has played on this team, and you look at Reed Blankenship taking another step forward. Back there with C.D. Deuce again. You look at the linebackers as a whole behind, Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean. You look at Josh Sweat really taking the reins as an edge rusher this year. You look at Jalix Hunt as a rookie stepping up for this team in the absence of Brandon Graham. You look at Milton Williams and Moro Ojomo. The list goes on, and that's just naming the defense, really. That's naming Mekhi Becton and Saquon Barkley. You look at Grant Calcaterra, like this team has come together in such a beautiful and amazing and fun way as this season has progressed. And I genuinely could not be more thrilled for their performances and just be so happy for them. They have earned every bit of this. They deserve every bit of praise from the fan base, from the coaching staff, from each other, from their peers in the NFL. This Eagles team is awesome, and I genuinely have chills just thinking about what they can accomplish together as we get set for the postseason, as they go into the NFL postseason as NFC East champions once again, as they gear up to be the 2 seed, as they gear up to potentially have a 14-win season under a coach who was heavily scrutinized, heavily criticized, thrown to the wayside, doesn't get respect, and has accumulated 47 wins in his first 4 seasons as a head coach. And counting. Nick Sirianni wins, baby. He wins. And I couldn't be more proud of this team. I'm so happy for them. And a shirts and hat game is always amazing. Saquon Barkley's first division title. He didn't even know shirts and hat games existed. This team rocks, man. I love this team. They're so much fun to root for. They're so easy to root for. And we're just getting started. 2024 Philadelphia Eagles are NFC East champions, baby. Let's go. And you know what? Shirts and hats game. Speaking of hats, 47 brand is the place to go. This segment brought to you by 47 brand. They are truly the best in the game. You want to join the 47 brand family today. Check out all of their amazing hats, amazing apparel for the favorite sports fan in your life. Not only this holiday season as the holidays continue to roll on, but year-round. Check out everything from baseball to basketball to football to hockey, college sports, minor league baseball, NASCAR, Premier League soccer. Best in the biz. Check out everything 47 brand has by using our link in the description. You'll also get free shipping on any order when you use our link in the description. and join the 47 family today. That's 47brand.com. It's linked in the description. Use our link so that way you get free shipping on all orders from our friends at 47 Brand, and you join the 47 family today. Let's go around the NFL as the Eagles decimate the Cowboys to clinch the division. A lot happened in the NFL today as well, and has happened over the past couple of days. As we see, the Chiefs beat the Steelers on Christmas 29-10. The Ravens win 31-2 on Christmas. The Seahawks take down the Bears 6-3 on Thursday Night Football. Saturday football, the Chargers win 40-7 over the Patriots. The Bengals survive the Broncos in overtime 30-24. The Rams take down the Cardinals 13-9. The Cowboys decimate themselves because the Eagles win 41-7 and decimate the Cowboys on the road to victory and clinching the NFC East. The Buccaneers maul the Panthers, the Duck game, 48-14. The Bills beat the Jets 40-14. The Giants destroy their draft positioning, beating the Colts at home 45-33. The Raiders beat the Saints 25-10. The Jaguars win 20-13 against the Titans. The Dolphins beat the Browns 20-3. The Vikings survive the Packers 27-25, and the Commanders in overtime beat the Falcons 30-24, and the Lions will visit the 49ers on Monday Night Football to wrap up Week 17 of NFL action. And like I mentioned, the Eagles against the Giants Sunday, 1 o'clock CBS game for the final week of the season. We'll see if Saquon Barkley is playing to potentially make NFL history, which would make him the MVP in my book. And you can stream the NFL all season long with our friends at Paramount Plus. That's right, our Around the NFL segment, as always, brought to you by Paramount Plus. The NFL, Champions League Soccer, the Christian Pulisic documentary, you name it, Paramount Plus has you covered. Plus their extensive backlog of nostalgic television shows, movies, original programming. Paramount Plus is the streaming platform that is going to give you so much bang for your buck. Use our link in the description. Sign up for Paramount Plus today to stream the NFL and the NFL postseason, including the AFC Championship game, only on Paramount Plus. Sign up now. What are you waiting for? Click the link in the description. Open it up in another tab while you're still listening to the podcast, and sign up for Paramount Plus so you don't miss a single bit of action of Week 18 in the NFL playoffs, and more with our friends at Paramount Plus. Let's go talk some hoops, shall we? Because the 76ers decided to hoop to round out 2024 and do it in fun fashion, as who would have thought the health of your superstars mattered so much, because the Sixers have had Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George available. They embarrassed the Celtics on Christmas, and then they go out to Utah and beat the Jazz 114-111, and survive Caleb Martin only scoring 5 points, because Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey combined for 64 points. They each had 32 points in this game. Yabu with 12 points. Reggie Jackson with 8 off the bench. Paul George with 13 in this game. And the 76ers survive the Utah Jazz 114-111. And a very good win for this team, as they are now only 5 games under 500. Again, I'm not saying I am fully back in on this team whatsoever, because you look at the standings, they sit in 11th right now, just outside of the play-in, and there's still work to be done. There's still a lot of work to be done for this team. Apparently, they are interested in Lonnie Walker IV, who is currently playing overseas. We'll see if that comes to fruition. I have always been a Lonnie Walker fan. I really wanted the Sixers to acquire him a couple years ago, before he went to the Nets and before he went to the Lakers, honestly. I've been a big fan of his game and always felt like he would be a great fit around Joel Embiid. So we'll see if that happens. But you have the Trailblazers on Monday, the Kings on New Year's Day, who just fired their coach. You have the Warriors on Thursday, and you have the Nets in Brooklyn on Saturday before you come back home to play the Suns, the Wizards, and the Pelicans, and then you go down to Orlando to then just come back home for a back-to-back against the Thunder and the Knicks. Then you go to Indiana, you go to Milwaukee, you go to Denver, come home to play the Cavs, you're at the Bulls, home against the Lakers, home against the Kings, home against the Nuggets, and home against the Celtics. And then you're home against the Mavericks and home against the Heat. Nice little home stretch there. What's that, a 6-game homestand? Yeah, it's pretty solid. I'm not saying I'm back in on this Sixers team. I know a couple episodes ago I said the season's over. They're not worth your time. I was done watching them. There's no need to watch them. You win on Christmas Day against the Celtics the way you did, and you build upon that. That's when the season starts. Okay, that's when the season starts. We all know Christmas Day is when the season really starts for the NBA. I'm paying attention from a distance to this team. We'll see how things shake out. They've certainly dug themselves a mighty deep hole for this season, and we'll see if they can crawl their way out of it. But, and they're healthy, you see what they're capable of. When you have Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George healthy, you see what they're capable of. It sucks that Jared McCain is out for the year, because if he was available, this team would probably be that much better on top of what they're doing currently. This road trip will definitely be interesting to kind of gauge where they're at. I want to see where the Trailblazers stink. The Kings are bad. The Warriors are kind of like middle of the table in the West. If you can win 2 out of 3 of those games on the West Coast and then obviously go to Brooklyn and beat the Nets because the Nets are not good, I'll be happy. I'll be happy going into that homestand if the Sixers can win 3 out of their next 4. They can win 3 out of 4, put themselves at 15-18, just 3 games under 500. I'll be happy. I'll still be watching from a distance, but I'll have the peripherals on them. 15-18. I'll be able to stomach that. But you got to beat teams like the Trailblazers. You got to beat teams like the Kings. You got to play tough against the Warriors, and you got to beat the Nets. So, 3 out of 4 in your next 4. I'll take that. I'll take that all day, okay? And then you come home, you see how you shake things out at home against the Suns, the Wizards, the Pelicans, the Wizards, stinky. The Suns, not great. The Pelicans, I don't even know where they are on the team. Pelicans, very stinky, okay? This is a stretch where the Sixers can really buy a lot of people back in and start to kind of give them a little bit of attention. If they can succeed, not only in these next 4 games out on the road, but then come home and play well this next 7-game pocket. Say you go 5-2, 6-1, something like that. You're building a little bit of trust back up for this team. So we'll see. We'll see, okay? I'm watching from a distance. I've been pleased with the past couple games. We'll see how it goes, okay? It's not that serious, but, hey, good job, boys. I'm proud of the way they're playing, and it does wonders when your stars are healthy. Our Sixers segment, as always, brought to you by our friends over at FOCO. You guys know the deal. FOCO's been releasing a ton of Sixers gear for their fans to check out, including the team overalls, the Joel Embiid Big Head bobblehead, friendship bracelets, the team gnome, the bottle cap wall sign, the action backpack, and my personal favorite item on the list is the 76ers Sherpa plush throw blanket. That thing looks softer than a pashmina Afghan, okay? Click the link in the description. It is labeled 76ers shopping list. Check out all the items they have here. Check out all the items FOCO has available for you to rep your favorite team and expand your Forever Collectibles collections with officially licensed merchandise, collectibles, and apparel from your favorite sports teams, whether it be the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, or more. Use our link in the description. Gear up for this Sixers run. If we're going to do it, we're going to need everyone behind it. And you got to look good while doing it. And FOCO's got you covered. Use our link. Check out all the new items that FOCO's been dropping for the 76ers. And we thank FOCO for being a proud partner of the podcast. Shifting from the hardwood to the ice. The Fly Guys. Since we last spoke here on the pod, they have been on their winter break. But on Saturday, they take it to the Anaheim Ducks 3-1, and William Gauthier is the biggest doofus buffoon loser I've ever seen. Talking about how he had that game circled on his calendar and, he couldn't wait to play, and then had some of the worst statistics, if not the worst statistics across the board in the entire game of any player. And if you don't know who William Gauthier is, because I will only refer to him as William, that is Cutter Gauthier, or as I like to also refer to him as Quitter Gauthier, who forced his way out of Philadelphia because he's a coward and scared to play in Philadelphia because he knows he's not that good. So he said, let me just go hide myself in Anaheim where nobody gives a fuck. And then we got Jamie Drysdale for it and a draft pick, and Jamie Drysdale rocks. So I'm happy that he decided to quit on us because he's a loser, a fraud, and an absolute scumbag. And the Flyers took it to him. Dominant win 3-1 against Anaheim. That's a huge win. And tonight, as I'm recording this Sunday night, they unfortunately drop a game 5-4 to the Los Angeles Kings. A game that they should have won, that they could have won. It was tied 2-2 after the first. The Flyers took a 4-3 lead into the third period and then never scored again and conceded 2 goals to the Kings. Scott Lawton, Matvei Michkov, Joel Farabee, and Tyson Forster all score in this game in terms of goals. Lotz, Michkov, Morgan Frost, Garnett Hathaway, Ryan Poling, Rasmus Ristolainen, Travis Sanheim, and Cam York, all with the assists. It's a bummer. I know the Kings are a good team. They're 21-10-5 now. The Flyers are 16-17-4. It would have been nice to steal this one, especially since the Kings kind of embarrassed you at home. The last time you saw them, a little 7-3 action. You level it out a little bit, a litmus test again. But the Kings are a good team. And when you're facing a good team like that, you're bound to face mistakes, and the Flyers' goaltending has really been an issue for them in a lot of instances of trying to find their footing this season and trying to find some consistency in that back end, because the Flyers can score. They've scored 115 goals this season, which is pretty darn good, and right in the mix in the Metropolitan Division, but they have conceded the second most goals, just behind the Penguins. The Penguins are just behind the Flyers in terms of goals conceded. But you're still right in the mix of things. You're with 36 points. You're tied with the Blue Jackets in terms of points. You're 3 points off the Penguins. And you have a game in hand against the Penguins. So guess what? You bounce back. You play the Sharks on Tuesday. That's a big game to just get a solid points out of. and end 2024 on a high note. Michkov scoring again is huge. And again, if you're a Flyers fan, remind yourself, this is year one of a rebuild process. Year one of a rebuild process. I'm very intrigued by the way they're playing. Like I said, I've been reinvigorated watching hockey so much this year because of the young talent and the stars on this team, like Travis Konechny, really taking that next step forward. And this team's a lot of fun to watch. You know, they're always in games for the most part. And if they can figure out, you know, some of that back end, you know, protection defensively and some goaltending consistency, then we're cooking. But again, year one of a rebuild. So yeah, we'll see how the Flyers fare to end 2024, and it is brought to you by our friends at Tomahawk Shades, our Flyers segment. Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the game. From sunglasses to blue light glasses to prescription lenses, Tomahawk Shades has you covered. There's no reason you guys should be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on eyewear when Tomahawk Shades is providing you a better quality product for a fraction of the price of those big eyewear companies. I'm always wearing my blue light glasses. I'm going to be wearing them when I'm editing this podcast. I wear them when I'm watching sports, my favorite shows and movies down here in the studio or just around the house to make sure my eyes are well rested. Get yours today. Go to TomahawkShades.com or download the Tomahawk Shades app in the App Store or Google Play Store. And when you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND and you'll get a clean 25% off your next order. And I'm sorry, it's not code UNDERGROUND. It's code USP. Code USP for 25% off your next order at TomahawkShades.com or in the Tomahawk Shades app. Once again, that's code USP for 25% off your next order at TomahawkShades.com or in the Tomahawk Shades app. The Philadelphia Wings. Yes, we're talking wingies on this pod because guess what, guys? They're 3-1, and they're sitting nicey in the standings in the National Lacrosse League. They are currently sitting in third place. Pretty good. I miscalculated there because I thought they would only move to third if the Colorado Mammoth had won on Sunday. I stand corrected because the Mammoth would then be 2 losses. So the Philadelphia Wings are in third place just behind the Georgia Swarm and Buffalo Bandits, who are both undefeated. The Wings are 3-1. They've scored 61 goals, which is good for second most in the National Lacrosse League so far this season, just behind the Colorado Mammoth. They've conceded 48 goals in 4 games. Pretty darn good. This team's playing very good lacrosse, guys, and they genuinely have the Rookie of the Year so far this season on their roster in Brendan O'Neill. He has been unbelievable to start the season. 9 goals, 12 assists in his rookie campaign, 21 points, which is good for 4th on the team. Joe Resetarits has been playing MVP level lacrosse. Mitch Jones has been unbelievable. And this team just continues to be awesome week in and week out. Nick Damude has been fantastic. And the defense has really been shored up. And they win in overtime this weekend by a final score of 12-11. Holden Katoni with the game winner. And they beat a Saskatchewan Rush team that's been very, very good to start the year. They overcome a lot of the box score statistics. When you look at them and you see the splits, you typically think the other team wins. The Rush had more shots on goal. They won 20 out of 27 faceoffs. They were 1 for 5 on the power play, where the Wings had 49 shots on goal. They won 7 of 27 faceoffs and were 0 for 1 on the power play. The Wings also got shut out in the fourth quarter and survive and advance in overtime. Mitch Jones leads the team in points in this game with 9. Brendan O'Neill was awesome. Awesome in this game. 8 points. He is the only professional lacrosse player this season to score 8 points in both the PLL and the NLL. He also had an 8-point game in college at Duke back in February. So doing it every which way. He's awesome, guys. I tried to tell everyone that Brennan O'Neill is going to be a superstar in this city, and I hope everyone starts paying attention to the Philadelphia Wings because they are good. They are 3-1. They will be on a bye next week. It's a short week in the NLL, just 3 games. But they come out of the bye at home on January 11th. They are home at 1 p.m. Eastern time against the Calgary Roughnecks. Should be an awesome offensive type of game. It's barking the bowl, and this team is so fun. And if you're not paying attention to the Wings, I highly recommend you do, because this team is going to be a force to be reckoned with all season long. They are clicking on all cylinders and are so much fun to watch. And I just can't recommend welcoming the Wings into your life anymore. It is such a joy to watch this team and the way they're playing. And for them to start this season 3-1, they've won 3 in a row. I mean, the sky is the limit. You look at their schedule as well. You know, Calgary, then Buffalo will be a huge test for them in January, the two-time defending champions. And then you come home to play Vancouver on a Sunday. And then Saturday, February 1st, you're at home. February 8th, you're at home. February 15th, you're on the road. February 22nd, you're on the road. And then March 8th, you're at home. March 15th, you're at home. March 22nd, you're on the road. March 28th, you're at home. April 5th, you're on the road. April 12th, you're home. And then April 19th, you are on the road to end the regular season. I genuinely think this team's a playoff team. Just looking at their schedule, looking at the way they're playing. This game against Saskatchewan was the fewest goals they've scored in a game this season, which you look at their goal output still at this point. You know, you look at, what has it been? Let's see. It was 15, and then I believe 19. 15 plus 19 plus 15. Plus 12. Divide that by 4. They're averaging a little over 15 goals a game. Still. Pretty damn good for a team that is bouncing back in a lot of ways and really going out to prove to not only the masses but to themselves that they are capable of being a dominant force in the National Lacrosse League this season. And it's very fun to see them continue week in and week out, prove the haters wrong. And Brennan O'Neill is currently the Rookie of the Year in my book. So the rookie class of Philadelphia continues to shine. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalix Hunt, Jared McCain, Matvey Michkov, Brennan O'Neill. We're going to add CJ Curse with the Water Dogs. Andrew Painter. Got some bright stars in this here city of Philadelphia, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to rep them, the best way possible is to go to PHI Apparel Company, our official merch partners. And you want to rep your favorite Philly sports team with their unique designs for all. There's no doubt in our minds you are going to stand out in the crowd. Go to phiapparel.co. Check out all their Philly sports designs, all their Philly-centric designs, and official Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merch as well. And when you go to check out, once your cart is filled to the gills, use code UNDERGROUND and you will get 10% off your next order with our friends at PHI Apparel Company. That's phiapparel.co. It's linked in the description. Code UNDERGROUND, 10% off your next merch order. When you get your merch, tag us, tag PHI Apparel Company. We'll repost it. I'm sure they'll repost it. The whole 9 yards. They are truly the best. phiapparel.co. Code UNDERGROUND, 10% off your next merch order. I got a little Phil's rant for the people. Way too many people on the interwebs here have been far too negative about this Phillies team. A team that is coming off a 95-win National League East pennant clinching season. Now, I understand this team did not perform up to standards of anybody, including the players, in the postseason this year. I understand they fell short in Game 7 of the NLCS against the Diamondbacks in 2023. I understand they fell to the Houston Astros in a World Series that was there for the taking. But I find it so difficult for people to just already have a negative outlook on a team that, say what you want, they have gotten better in a lot of ways. Okay, maybe they didn't add Juan Soto to the team. Maybe they're not going to add Roki Sasaki to the rotation. Maybe they didn't add, Cody Bellinger or Kyle Tucker or players that just quite frankly don't fit on this team currently. Do they fit in terms of, they'd be fun to have here if there was a spot for them? Yes. But please tell me, Phillies fans, where were these players that you have been clamoring for going to play? Where was Kyle Tucker going to play on this team? Why were the Phillies going to give up what the Cubs gave up for Kyle Tucker? It just didn't make sense. And Tucker, you're going to have to pay him. Doesn't really mathematically add up in my brain. Cody Bellinger, one of the more streaky players in baseball. Where was he? I get, center field. I get right field. Where would tell me? Explain Cody Bellinger to me. Again, another guy who is under contract for big money. Didn't really fit here in my book. And again, very streaky player. Please go look at Cody Bellinger's career and tell me, why. I like Cody Bellinger, too. I'm a big fan of him. Tell me where. Juan Soto. Are we all just forgetting that Juan Soto is not all that great defensively and the Phillies are already playing an outfield that is not suboptimal defense? And you're talking to number one Nick Castellanos defender right here. Nick would probably tell you right field is not his strongest suit. Okay? But he has made it a plus for himself. He was signed here to be a DH, and then it just has shaped up to not be that way, and Castellanos has carved a way for him to play every day and has been well above average in right field. Again, just tell me where any of these additions that the Dodgers or the Mets or the Yankees made sense for the Phillies. Do we not have Kyle Schwarber still on this team? Do we not still have Bryce Harper here? Do we still not have Nick Castellanos and Alec Boehm and Bryson Stott and Trey Turner and Brandon Marsh and JT Realmuto? I'm pretty sure damn near every team in baseball would kill to have a lineup like the Phillies have. Did we not just add Max Kepler to the outfield, a guy who doesn't strike out, who doesn't chase pitches, who's going to play left field every day, who will get on base at the bottom of the lineup? That's something the Phillies lacked last year. That's an improvement in my book. Did the Phillies not just trade for Jesus Luzardo, a guy who has been a Phillies killer when he was with the Marlins and when he was healthy? Did we not dread every Jesus Luzardo start against the Phillies in 2023? I'm pretty sure there were people online in 2023 going into the playoffs in that wild card game 1 who were like, oh man, it's Jesus Luzardo. We really got to get him out of the game soon if we want to have a chance. This team is 7 deep in the rotation. Do I still want them to re-sign Jeff Hoffman? Absolutely. If you re-sign Jeff Hoffman, this offseason is beautiful. And guess what? You still have Andrew Painter, who's going to pitch in the second half of the season for this team. You still have Justin Crawford, who's coming up through the ranks. You still have Aiden Miller, who's coming up through the ranks. You still have prospects who are going to be contributors for years to come in this organization because you've built this team the way you've built it. I don't understand the doom and gloom about this team. The recency bias about the NLDS disaster class is mind-blowing to me. Baseball is the ultimate anything can happen sport. There's a pitch clock, there's no game clock. Anything can happen at any given moment. One pitch, a game can be turned on its head. It is a 162-game season plus the playoffs. And you're already telling me before the ball drops for 2025, we're still sitting here in December of 2024, 2.5 months removed from last season, that you have no hope and the windows are closed for this team and there's no hope of them winning a World Series with this group. What the fuck are we talking about? I just don't understand. This Phillies team is poised to have the best rotation in baseball. And we're doom and gloom. It's all over because of what happened last. Have we not paid attention to what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing? Have we lost the plot that this team, since this postseason run has begun for them and this window has opened, 2022 just squeaked in as the 6th seed wild card. 2023 got into the wild card again and made noise in the postseason and humiliated a division rival and were 1 game away from going back to the World Series. And in 2024, you won 95 games and clinched your first division title since 2011. Have we not learned anything? The whole media manipulation of sports where it's championship or bust as a gauge for success for a team is fucking maddening. And if you're going into this Phillies season already pessimistic and already doubting what they're capable of, like, we have Bryce fucking Harper on this team. If you are not believing in what this team is capable of and just realizing that, hey, maybe the stars on this team have been here and have been collected over the past couple of seasons, and it's on them to execute and perform in the playoffs, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Don't watch the games then. If you feel that way about the Phillies and you're going to be doom and gloom already before the new year is even here, don't watch this. Don't pay attention this season. Because guess what? I'm going to keep tabs of all the doom and gloom naysayers about this team. And come October, you'll be seeing a plethora of retweets from your boy. Because guess what? This team is littered with star power. They've gotten better in places and improved in places they were already elite at. They still have flamethrowers in that bullpen. Resign Jeff Hoffman, please. And we're doubting them because the Mets signed Juan Soto. We're doubting them because the Dodgers signed Blake Snell. We're doubting them because the Yankees signed perennially injured Max Fried and traded for Cody Bellinger and oft-injured Devin Williams. I don't know, Chief. I don't know what to tell you. Are you afraid of Kodai Senga and Sean Manaea as a 1-2 punch? 32-year-old Sean Manaea, who's not going to replicate what he did last season at all, in my opinion. A very overachieving year. Or are you going to trust Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, Ranger Suarez, and second half Andrew Painter? Are you going to trust Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm, JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos, Brandon Marsh, Max Kepler? Or are you afraid of Juan Soto, Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, and Mark Vientos? Are you afraid of who? Like, this team is still a top 3 team in the National League, and they're not 3. Okay? Did we not just watch the Yankees choke like motherfuckers in the World Series? Of course the Phillies were not going to beat that Dodgers team in the NLCS. They were on a fucking tear. But the gloom and doom before pitchers and catchers even report. The fuck are we doing? Like, smile. Breathe. The Eagles just won the fucking division and we're the 2 seed in the playoffs. Worry about the team that's playing right now. And relax. Because my God, the doom and gloom. We gotta call timeout on that bullshit. Gotta call timeout on that bullshit. Because that's just crazy. It's crazy talk. It makes me feel crazy. It makes me feel absolutely crazy. And I don't know. Let me know what you think. Sound off on the voicemail line, speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia, or leave me a comment in the YouTube and Spotify comment sections. Last bit here before I continue celebrating the Eagles winning the division and being the 2 seed and going on a run and being poised to strap up and be ready for a postseason run with the Birds. Top Ends is back. The official soccer podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. Officially back. An episode has been recorded. It will drop at midnight when that ball drops. 1/1/25, the revival of Top Bins. Myself, Harrison, HK, Harry to K, Harrison Kremens, myself on the revival episode. Very excited about Top Bins being back. It's the initial expansion podcast on this network. I know I've been talking about it time and time again on this show, but I want you guys to subscribe to that show because we're going to have a lot of fun on that show. And we have a slew of recurring guest hosts that are going to be joining us that more than likely will become regulars on the show. It's going to be a community-driven show, and I'm just very excited. It's a new pool of water that I'm dipping my toes in and becoming a Premier League soccer fan. But I'm pumped. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited it's back. I hope Dom is listening to this and decides he wants to come back and talk some footy with us on the reg. I hope Matt's schedule clears up so that Matt and Dom are back in the fold together. But no more dead IP at this company. We're not letting brands that we have go by the wayside and lose momentum ever again. That is a promise from me to you going into the new year. But Top Bins back Wednesday, January 1st, 2025 at midnight when the ball drops. The revival is here. So stay tuned for those episodes dropping once again on our YouTube channel, and subscribe to that podcast feed as well if you want to listen to Top Bins. I also want to announce that, according to sources, F1 Underground will be experiencing a blackout by the time you guys are listening to this. I don't know what it entails. I'm not 100% certain of what's to come, but I'm hearing there's going to be a blackout across their social media. And a pretty hefty announcement will be coming on January 1st as well. So stay tuned for that. Little teaser there. But, again, the Philadelphia Eagles are NFC East Champions, 2024 NFC East Champions, a shirts and hats game. I hope Saquon gets the record. I hope he does. That'd be so fucking cool. Nonetheless, he's in the 2K club forever, and that's also really fucking cool. And Saquon Barkley is the coolest. I'm happy he's an Eagle. And the Eagles are back in the playoffs, baby. And it's not going to be a crash out. This team can win in all three phases. Oh, yeah. Jake Elliott took kickoffs today. Looked pretty good doing it. I'm just saying. Him not taking kickoffs kind of stunted his follow-through on the field goals. And on the kicks today, he's right down the middle. He's pretty good. I'm just saying, maybe there's a little credence to my theory there. Just saying. Man, it feels good to be on top of the division again, where we belong. Eagles should always be NFC East champions. Should be fighting to get to the Super Bowl every single year. It's going to be a battle this year for sure. But I think we got what it takes. And now we gear up for one final regular season home game. And we wait to see who the playoff opponent is. How sweet it would be to get revenge on the Washington Commanders and their silly little fan base, who haven't been here before and don't remember what it's like to be in the postseason, and we just embarrass the fuck out of them. Or we play where it all begins, and we actually get to play at home against the Packers. Either way, I'm ready. I'm ready for my heart rate to be through the roof, and I'm ready for the birds to keep flying high, baby. Eagles are 2024 NFC East champions. First time since 2010 that the Eagles and Phillies have won their respective divisions in the same season. Enjoy this. Flags fly forever. Banners fly forever. Accolades are forever. And the Philadelphia Eagles, being 2024 NFC East champions, is forever. That's all I got for you guys on this one. Make sure you are following us on the socials across the board. At Underground PHI, or just search Underground Sports Philadelphia. We're on every social platform. You can follow me on social as well. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube. You can follow me everywhere. Subscribe to the podcast, please. I'm begging. Leave a 5-star review. I'm begging. Subscribe to the podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star review. It really does go a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire network of podcasts. Subscribe. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Click the bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And get us to 900 subscribers. Get us to 1,000 subscribers. We are 118 away. It would be fucking badass if you guys came through and we hit that milestone before the ball drops on New Year's Eve. Let's make it happen. YouTube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. And this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland, my hometown. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential operation, a potential location for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. Big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 703 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, a Victory Monday edition, an NFC East clinching division. I said NFC East clinching division. NFC East division clinching edition. I'm going to run that back. This has been episode number 703 of Victory Monday edition, a 2024 NFC East division clinching edition of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Smile and breathe, people. The birds are flying high. It's Victory Monday. It's about to be a new year. The next time I talk to you guys will be 2025, which is crazy to think about. We appreciate you so much here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. You're making our dreams come true by supporting us. And this show would not be possible without all of our awesome and loyal listeners and followers and viewers and supporters. So genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, to all of you, I speak for everyone here at the company who has a show that they work on, who works behind the scenes. We thank you so much for all of your support in 2024, and we promise 2025 is going to be bigger and better than ever on this show. I'm your boy KB. Have a safe and happy new year. I'll talk to you guys in the new year, but until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here. And I'm signing off for one last time in 2024 right here on this podcast. And I'll see you in the new year. Peace. Go Birds.